I told, you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I told Temmie when we presented her that 1,000-point ball before the game that I take some of my best pictures in a mask.
All right, Flan, if you can start with an opening statement.
That was my opening statement. Yeah, I just told him I'm proud of him because it wasn't super pretty and but we knew it wasn't going to be. It's been a tough month in terms of just having the kind of enthusiasm to get to this point and play. But I thought our buildup over the last few days was terrific, and I think that showed in our resiliency today. Connie's really good at reminding me of things that she had a hard time remembering when she was a head coach, and she's like, "Plan, we're not going to be perfect today." Wanting to make sure that I wasn't, ranting too much, and I knew that, but and we weren't. But I thought we kind of had a lot of people contribute, and we kind of gritted our way through the first half. Obviously, Peyton was huge the first half because we had a lot of other people who couldn't get going in the first half, and I'm super happy for her because she's hung in here. So to have her have a day like today is I think great for her, great for the team. But and then we had a lot of other people contribute. Temmie got going a little bit in the second half. Michael hits a three, but like I said, it wasn't perfect. But I thought our willingness to prepare this week was good, and to be resilient today. I thought Georgetown fought. I thought their defense, for as young as they are, I thought their defense was pretty good today. But we eventually found enough cracks to push it out in that second half.
We're just going to go open the floor to questions, and I will begin with the person who asked the most questions, Matt DeMarinis.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of things with Peyton, but it's hard not to look at the last couple of games. I know you guys had a month in between it, so it's not like it's a consistent thing yet, but do you dare sense that a light bulb is starting to go off for her, that she's starting to kind of become the player she possibly looked like she could be out of high school from a confidence standpoint and ability standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, Peyton's been, when she struggles in practice to shoot the ball, I think we typically see that kind of carry over to the game. But I think, so I'm hoping that having a day like today, really helps her confidence both in practice and in games. We know she can play, and I mean, I'm happy for her that she got the opportunity. Sometimes it's not. I think sometimes on the outside, there's a tendency to think that the options are way better, and they're not always way better. They're just marginally better. And in some cases, Peyton's got some limitations defensively. Okay. But I think she's done a really good job there too, lately, just, and part of that is her experience, but I thought defensively she did what we needed her to do for the most part today. And I think if she can keep doing that, obviously if she can shoot it like that, she's going to play more. But I'm happy for her because I think she showed what kind of player that she can be, and hopefully it's a springboard for her. But I credit her for keeping her head up. I mean, it's not easy to, have your minutes be, vary as much as hers have, and then be as ready as she was today. But like you said, I thought she played well against DePaul, and certainly today she was really big for us.
All right, I'm going to have John next, and then I'll go to Rex, and we'll come back to you, Matt. So, John, do you have a question?
Yeah, Flan, I wonder, was there any discussion at all to just shutting it down? I know there's been some teams across basketball that have decided just to opt out because of, just the complications of dealing with the virus.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that conversation. Obviously, truthfully, if you ask me, did it cross my mind? Sure, it crossed my mind, but I never thought about it in a serious way. If our players had come and said, "Hey, what do you think?" But and some of it's not even COVID. I think, when I've read about some of the teams that have shut it down, like the Vanderbilt women, it wasn't just COVID. It was they had a lot of other injuries. I mean, you think about Rachel's been out, is going to be out the rest of the year. Carly's been out and for quite a while now, and hopefully we can get her back. But we had no Tatum today, no Chloe today. So it wasn't just COVID. None of those, who didn't sit up today were COVID. So we haven't had those discussions as a team. It maybe has crossed players' minds a little bit, like it's crossed mine. But I mean, I think they want to play. I think players want to play. And, my question would be, what's the alternative? This isn't as great as we wanted it to be, but I still think it's better than the alternative of not playing.
Rex, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Flynn, even though it wasn't, as you said, always pretty at times, just how good did it feel to be on the sideline and coach a game after 29 days between them?
Yeah, we talked about as a staff this week, and even just like it almost feels like a first game, as close as a first game, that's not a first game can feel, because when we got back together, I wasn't able to be at practice until yesterday. But we didn't get back to practice as a team until Wednesday. And, typically it's, hey, you kind of know who you are at this time of year, and you're pretty opponent specific in terms of your preparation, because you kind of know who you are. But this week it was like, gosh, we got to kind of refigure out who we are, especially with playing young kids or young players. And just, okay, who's in the kind of shape where they can play X amount of minutes versus that, but also who's, who can help us maybe this game versus the next game from a matchup standpoint. So it was a lot of, and we were certainly, as coaches, we weren't perfect at pushing the right buttons, but I do think there was a lot of uncertainty in terms of just who we were coming into today. So, because we had lineups out there that we, didn't project that we were going to play. And so I'm happy for, but I told them all, not just Peyton, but like Dee Dee and Mallory Brake and Jamie Horan, who haven't gotten to play a lot. I mean, I said, you guys got to be ready. You're going to get an opportunity. I'm excited for you that you get an opportunity.
Let's go to Matt.
Yeah, sorry if you mentioned this, but how many practices did you guys get before today? Like how ready did you feel to start playing again? 3?
3. We practiced Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. And so I don't know. I mean, I think they were ready to play just because it had been so long. But could we have used maybe one more? Yeah, but I think everybody's had this sort of thing happen. They've had a pause. Almost everybody has had a pause where they've had to come back and. So I thought I told him, like I said, I wasn't at practice Wednesday or Thursday, but the comments, and I Zoomed it, but you can't really tell Zooming a practice, but I asked the coaches for feedback, and they said we had good enthusiasm, but not great execution. And that's what you would expect. But I think I told them enthusiasm is going to carry the day in a year like now, at a time like this, where you're getting, late January and early February, just come to practice enthused, and that can make up for a lot of, execution mistakes.
That's kind of how the first half felt. There was a lot of enthusiasm, not a lot of execution. Like that's
Yeah. I mean, other than if you took Peyton off the floor, I don't know if we would have scored that first half.
Right.
Yeah.
John, do you have a question?
I'm good. I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.
Rex, back to you.
We talked way back, feels like years ago in the preseason with you about kind of your youth movement this year with a lot of younger players on the team. There were times today where you had 4 freshmen and Temi on the floor. Can you just talk a little bit about that youth movement and kind of the excitement for the future of the program too, knowing they're all getting experience now?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I said that. I said that, in the third quarter, I looked out and it was 4 freshmen and Temi, and I was like, we got 4 freshmen out there. which is, it's great. I mean, I think those guys get an opportunity to play. And, Morgan and Emma and Molly have played quite a bit. Molly and Morgan a little bit more lately, but even Jamie and Mallory are getting an opportunity to play. So yeah, I think it's exciting. And I think that's, one of the things that we love about our program is that we do feel like we have good continuity because we can retain players. We're in a position where if freshmen are good enough, or if injury circumstances or COVID circumstances dictate that they're going to play more, that's fine. But I also think that, we pretty much usually have good continuity up and down the roster. The fact is we've got, Tatum out and Rachel out and Carly, we've got a lot of upperclassmen who are out right now. So, but I think it does bode well for the future.
Last question for Flan to Matt.
Hey, how'd you guys get the turnovers cleaned up in the second half? Just from your perspective, did anything change adjustment wise, or did it just get more comfortable out there?
Yeah, I thought I hoped that their pressure would relax a lot. I thought for as young as they are, I thought they did a good job of kind of making us uncomfortable in that first half and pressuring and, being physical. And, I thought we played our roster a little bit more than they did in that first half. So I thought maybe their energy level would drop a little. So that might've been a little bit of it, but but I said, yeah, part of it's, I think, just getting a little bit more comfortable. But I think the fatigue thing was maybe a little bit influential there. But yeah, 10 turnovers in the first half versus 4, and 7 assists in the first half versus 11. So that was a big change. And the other thing that was crazy about this game is that we outscored them 17-4 in second chance points. And I told the team that's not really Creighton women's basketball to have that much of an advantage on the glass. But I think, this is a year where you got to win different ways. And so that's what's great about today is I think we won in a little bit different way than maybe we normally do. All right. I know you guys want to talk to Peyton, right? Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Flan.
thanks, Flan. Peyton Brodsky joining us. All right, I'll begin with John. I'll let John go first this time. John, if you have a question, then I'll go Rex and back to Matt.
Peyton, what have you been up to this last month? Like, how have you stayed sane, stayed in shape, stayed ready to play?
Yeah. I was in quarantine for 10 days, just like everybody else. Some people were in a little bit longer, but I got 10 days in. During that time, I was able to work out with Coach Sy, so that was really nice. In the practice facility, the Ruth, which was nice to get up and do some basketball workouts, conditioning workouts, that type of stuff. But other than that, just basically anything and everything that we can right now. A lot of conditioning. We conditioned every day for I think 6 days straight. A lot of shooting on my own, just a lot of time getting better individually.
Rex, we'll go to you.
Hey, Peyton, Flan joked that, without you, they might not have scored in the first half. Just what were you feeling out there? What were you seeing?
Yeah, obviously you get confidence when your first shot goes in. So just shooting the ball with confidence. My teammates were making great passes to me. They had a couple skip passes and then just good passes on the perimeter to me. And I just kind of let it go. But I was lucky that they made it. And it was good to get confidence after the first couple shots going in.
Matt?
Yeah, just big picture thinking back to prior years and conversations, like confidence has been the thing that you haven't been able to harness at this level yet. And I'm just wondering what these last 3 games, I know it's probably felt like a year, but it's only been 3 games, like going back to DePaul. How do you just keep that part in your head where you're like, hey, that's kind of who I am at this point. I can be this player on a consistent basis.
Yeah, it's part of the games. There's ups and downs. I've went through it in high school, going through it now, but DePaul is definitely a big confidence booster. And then just having this time to work on myself and get better individually. I think that was really beneficial to myself, but I give all the credit in the world to my teammates.
John, do you have another question?
I do. Peyton, I was wondering what the feeling was like today, maybe leading up to tip off, like you and your teammates. Could you sense it was a lot of excitement? Were you guys trying to keep it chill? How'd you react to sort of the buildup of the game?
Yeah, Flynn made a comment that it was kind of like the first game again. I mean, we haven't played in almost a month. So we were super excited. Conversations in the locker room leading up to this game, we were all just super excited to get back on the floor together. We knew that we wouldn't have Tatum and Chloe and that type of stuff, but that's nothing that we haven't been through before. So the ones that we're playing today, we're all super excited and ready to play.
Move on to Rex.
I'm good. If you want to go to Matt.
Matt?
Yeah, has it been tough to stay bought in to this season? Like to stay focused on wanting to play, wanting to practice, wanting to go through the day to day. I mean, because every year it's like it's not easy for you guys to do this. The games are almost like a reward for you because it's a lot of hard work leading up. But with all the interruptions and all the anxiety around the health factor of it all, like is it tough to stay keyed in and actually want to do this every day?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's definitely been a year unlike any other, and there's not much we can do about it. I mean, everyone's in the same position. So just trying to remind ourselves that we're lucky to be in this position in the first place. I mean, it's not every day that we fly all the way to Xavier, get there in an hour before the game gets canceled. But I mean, it's something that we kind of have to adjust to, and we're all in the same boat. So I think our teammates have done a really good job of keeping each other positive. Coaches are super good at it as well, just reminding us that we have this opportunity and we need to take every chance that we get.
All right, I'll give one more question to John and one more to Matt.
6 straight days of conditioning. That's like summer workout type stuff, isn't it? How do you get through that?
It was a lot. It was me, Molly, and Morgan who had conditioning together for, I think it was like 5 or 6 days straight, it was a lot. I mean, I haven't done that since like probably last year's postseason. So but I mean, that I felt great in the game today. So I think it was super beneficial and needed to keep us in shape over those 20, however many days.
Last question to Matt.
I mean, we all know how Sai is. Did you give her buckets during this off time? Did you while you were building your confidence, were you killing hers at the same time?
Yeah, I tried to. She put me through some hard workouts, but we didn't play pig or anything. But normally I like to do that. It was good though. Yeah, it was good to work with her.
Nice.
All right, thanks,
I'm
guys.
good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn.
Welcome.